Yeah, g'day everyone, and welcome back to the Gold Coast Titans Frontline podcast. My name's Dane from Clarkey's Rugby League column, and I'm joined every week by Russ from Dani and Blake. Quiet day on the Titans news front, Russ. We missed you last week, mate. How have you been?
Yeah, good, mate. Just took the family up to Cairns for the week, so sorry I wasn't there. And you said quiet. Are you kidding? I think you're being sarcastic there, mate. Come on.
Tell you what, it was quiet until yesterday. We had one thing to talk about in our Titans news segment. That was just regarding Dave Fafita and his future, but it's definitely taken a big twist today.
He's here till 26, isn't he?
I'm not too sure if Des said that in the press conference, actually. If he did, I must have missed that.
Yeah.
On another note, quickly, that was really rude by that journalist. I didn't like how he spoke to Des there at all. But look, Dave Fafita discussions, I touched on this last week, guys. I think we parked that discussion there. I didn't have too much positive to say there around Dave and the situation. Since I made my comments there, he has been confirmed as moving on next year. So let's go straight to today. Des Hasler, he will not be our coach anymore next year. Our coach will be Josh Hannay. That's the man we wanted. So positive move for the club, right?
Yeah, 100%. Do you reckon they're listening to our podcast? Because we've been saying if Des isn't the man for the job next year, we want Josh Hannay. We've both been saying that for probably at least the last 10 weeks. So I feel like that's probably the best outcome for the club. And I'm as sad as it is to see Des go. It hasn't been the best for Des for the last 2 years. You know what I mean? Going forward, I think Josh Hannay is the best option we had at that time.
I would have honestly been happy with any change. Just like all we've said all year in our breakdowns of games we want to see some change, and there just hasn't been any.
Yeah,
we get that change, and we get the best possible result realistically. I just think we needed to go in a direction like the Bulldogs did, where they went for Ciraldo, got the best young coach available, and the Warriors subsequently with Cameron Ciraldo. These coaches that have been there, done that, like your Brad Arthurs, Des Haslers, I just don't know how much their game plans are relevant to the modern game and with these young players that are coming through in a different generation. Whereas someone like Josh Hannay, he's really respected at the Queensland Maroons level as an assistant coach there. He's been a head coach for the Sharks when they removed John Morris in an interim capacity. The Sharks have made finals every year since he's been there as an assistant coach. So there's a lot of upside to this.
Yep.
The flow-on effect was with Anthony LaFranchi. He's been moved into head of recruitment, so he replaces Ezra, who went with Mel across to the Perth Bears. And we bring in Scott Sattler as our football manager / director. I believe he was our inaugural one in 2007.
I read that. Yeah, he was.
He was? Okay, there you go. First thing I want to make note of this is Dave Fafita's absolutely gone, because Scott Sattler said in the newspaper last week that he wants to see Dave move away from Southeast Queensland, go down to Sydney and realise his potential. So
we all reckon he's going to the Rabbitohs. Like, it's pretty much done. It just hasn't been formally announced. Like, everyone knows he's going there. Wayne Bennett's come out openly and said that he's coached him before and said, I want Dave Fafita. He's going to Rabbitohs.
Yeah, absolutely. And with Scott Sattler there,
yeah,
you know, if like someone who was super close with Dave came into that role, maybe there could be a change of heart like there was last time with the Rooster situation. But that all but confirms it without doubt.
What I want to
see be with us next year.
What I want to see now is obviously there's been a lot of talk about Tino, what Tino's going to do. And now that there's certainty, all right, Des isn't going to be there. Josh Hannay's there. He's had a rapport with Tino at Origin level. Let's hope that that's enough to be like, you know what? I'm ready to stay on. Like, I don't know if it is, but like, because there was report that Bellamy was saying that he wanted him back at Storm. But like, if he's sure enough and goes, yep, you know what? I believe Josh Hannay is the coach for the Titans and he stays on. I think that's an extra win for us, to be honest.
Completely agree. But that needs to be Josh Hannay's first port of call as coach of the club.
100%.
Sit down with Tino. Tino, what are your expectations? I saw you speaking to the newspaper earlier this year. You weren't happy with the plan and direction. This is my plan and direction, and it very much involves you as the captain. I want us to be aligned, and I want you here. Absolutely, is my.
We both
my
agree.
Right
we want Tino at the club. So
no ifs or buts. Didn't like how Craig Bellamy came out and said, "Oh, of course, I'd like to sign him." To me, that's essentially tampering without tampering.
Yeah.
I don't like the NRL does have official anti-tampering rules. They're nowhere near as strict as American sports, but yeah, I'm just not a fan that a rival coach can come out in a public press conference and say, of course, I'd love to sign him. At the end of the day, Tino's signed on a 10-year deal with us.
And he will not get 1 million. He will not get that at Storm. Craig Bellamy's openly come out and said he will only play his 7, 9, and 1 big dollars.
That
He's
sort of money.
openly said that his spine players, he will not pay a forward big money. So I don't know.
Yep. Yeah, and realistically, the only reason Tino would go back to Melbourne, it would
For a
seem looking
premiership.
from the outside, it would be for that success factor.
Yeah.
Because I genuinely believe with him on that roster, they would win multiple
Easily.
premierships over the next couple of years, mate. But huge day for the club news-wise, guys. Let us all know in the comments of the podcast player or YouTube how you feel about this appointment. I do feel sorry for Des. There's always an element of there's a human at the end of the day that's lost his job here.
100%. Yeah.
But I don't mean to rub any salt into the wounds here, but I will just point out Des Hasler actually has the lowest winning percentage of anyone who's ever coached the Titans.
Yeah.
He's even below Garth Brennan, which, if you can believe that. So
and I reckon this year, is probably the worst Titans in our whole of the history.
Yeah.
Our worst season. It's going very close to our worst season ever.
Yeah. I mean, you could go through and
look at other.
Yeah, every player's out of form.
Yeah.
There's arguments certain players have played on one season too long. Players haven't been developed in the right positions. There's so many issues. It's impossible to say exactly where it went wrong. But it has gone horribly wrong. And unfortunately for Des, he does have to pay the price for that. And I think as a football fan, I'm really excited because there had to be change. We got change and we landed on the best case scenario. From like a personal perspective, of course, there's, it feels like when we lost Justin to get Des all over again. You feel for Justin, but you're excited for Des. Same here. I feel for Des, but I'm really excited for Josh Hannay.
I'm excited for 26 again now. It makes me go as a Titans fan and go, all right, what's 26 going to bring? Especially if we get a couple of signings, like obviously Dave's not going to be there. We're going to have money in our salary cap. So we really need Anthony LaFranchi as a recruit, and we need to get some players, even if it's like signing a player for 27, a big player for 27, you know what I mean? That's off contract, because in the 26, there's not many that are off contract that really I look at and go, oh yeah, I want him. There's a couple, but but they're 27. We need to get a big player. If we're losing Dave, that's one of our big players. We need to get a big player back.
Spot on. And it can't be a forward because we've already got enough talented forwards.
It has to be a 7. It has to be a 7.
Yeah.
Really.
I'm actually disappointed we missed out on Tom Duffy. He signed that 1-year deal with the Broncos where he'll be behind potentially in the halves Billy Walters, Adam Reynolds, Ezra Mam, and Ben Hunt. I feel like,
isn't it?
Yeah, I guess it's because we didn't have a recruitment manager at the time to talk to him.
Hey, I would still take Reynolds for a year. I'm telling you, I'd give him a year contract.
Yep. I wouldn't be against it either. I wouldn't be against signing Ben Hunt for a year.
Yeah.
People look at those players and say,
a big half.
Yeah, they're around the same age as Kieran Foran, right? And Kieran's still going around for us. So, yeah, man, we need we've got the best case scenario, guys, but the work has only just started. And as Titans fans, with respect to Des, if he stayed on as our coach next year, I don't think too many of us were looking forward to 2026 as promising or even with any level of optimism. But with a brand new head coach, results can be immediate. I go back to the Warriors in 2023. Their first season with Andrew Webster was top 4 finish. Now, I'm not suggesting we'll get there in 1 year, but let's get right behind this new coach. Let's get right behind the assistant coaches he brings in, and let's really look forward to next year. And let's also look forward to finishing the year strong with Des. I'd really love to beat the Dolphins this round. Not to end their finals hopes or anything against them. I'd just love to see Des finish with 2 wins in his coaching career. That'd be really nice.
They're both winnable games. They're both winnable games that we have in the next two games. Like, they're both, like, Dolphins are fighting for the finals, and then we got Tigers, don't we, in the last round, is it?
We do, at home, yeah.
So, like, they're 2 winnable games. If we're on, like, we should have beaten the Tigers 6 weeks ago. Like, they're winnable games. I don't think we're going to avoid the spoon. Can we avoid the spoon? If we win both,
we need the Knights to lose one of their 2 games, and we need to win one of our 2. Our for and against are so similar that it doesn't need. Yeah. Actually, I think theirs is worse than us now because they got smashed by the Broncos. So
if we win both our games, essentially we'll avoid the spoon.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. If we win one of the games, we should avoid the spoon because the Knights, they seem more likely to keep losing than we do at the moment. We can only go as high as 16th. So we can only avoid the spoon. Knights can still go as high as 14th. The teams that we verse in the Dragons and Tigers, the Dolphins and Tigers, they technically can go as high as 8, but highly unlikely. So
they won't.
We got hope, and I think we should all get behind hasn't been a great period for Des, but he's come in and absolutely tried his hardest. from speaking with people at the club, he's the first one there and the last one out. He's always working. He's always diligent. It's not like Des Hasler rocked up for a paycheck. He really wanted to see us successful on the coast, and it just hasn't worked out. That's life sometimes, but that doesn't mean we should be angry at Des because he has given it his best.
Sure, we've seen the passion, man. Like in the sheds a couple of weeks ago when they lost to the Tigers, we saw the absolute passion. You know what I mean? Like he was there. He wasn't there just collecting his paycheck. 100%. What you said.
I'm glad you brought that up. Actually, that's a really good point. If he was there for a paycheck, you don't yell at players like that in front of the owner. He cares. Yeah. And he always has cared. We just haven't got the results. But we could talk all day about this situation. Let's park that there and move into our game reviews. Yeah. Kicking us off with the NRLW, our Titans defeat the Dragons 22-4. And look, you guys would have known from the preview show. I didn't want to jinx it, but I said everything essentially, but we're certainties to win here. The Dragons, they're just not a very good NRLW side. I'm glad we got the win. It was dominant fashion. Did you take anything away from this game yourself, Russ?
Oh, we had to win that. And I watched them. We were dominant, but we had to be. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, if we were losing that game, we were never going to make finals. Like, they're probably like a bottom 2 team. Really. Like, I watched them, and we actually looked really good, but that was because they were really bad.
Yeah, it's one of those games, right, where as good as we were, they were equally as bad. And that's my biggest takeaway because I didn't think we completed particularly well in this game in terms of our set completion rate, but they only completed at 58%. If your opponent's finishing just over half their sets, you should be winning by, an 18-point margin like we did. And that's my biggest thing with this win. I don't want our team to get too far ahead of themselves. We beat a very bad side. We needed to. We did. This doesn't prove anything for our season. We did our job for 1 week against an inferior opposition. Yeah. When you go through the stats, we still had the same amount of errors as them, and we were actually worse defensively in terms of ineffective tackles and tackle efficiency, tackles made over missed tackles. So this is a solid base to build off for an NRLW side, Russ, but if we're going to get ahead of ourselves here and think, we're bigger than we are.
Oh, we'd need to be a lot better than reality check teams. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, we're still levels below the Broncos and Roosters, in my opinion.
The Roosters would have put 60 on them.
Yeah. Yeah. We've still got a long way to go. I think that's the key takeaway. As fans and if the team themselves, let's enjoy the win. Let's build off this base, but let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. There's still a lot of improvement in our side. And I think I saw Jamie Chapman on her Instagram, her story looked like Talia Filmano got her flowers and she was in hospital. So I would assume if you're having a surgery, that's season over for Chapo. I don't know for certain.
Think so. Yeah,
you would think so in a 10-round NRLW season.
Well, she was in a moon boot at the game.
Yeah.
So
which is
normally that's a couple of weeks. Like their season doesn't go that long. So
it's I think we just need to keep improving and push for that 5th or 6th spot. That's probably our ceiling this year, and then we can build off that moving forward. Alrighty, game review time. NRLW wise, Warriors beat us in this game, 32 points to 18, and there really wasn't too much to break down for me here, Ross. I just think the biggest takeaway from this game is we had the Warriors as a bogey side. We, for some reason, had a hoodoo over them where we just always win.
We literally beat them this year, bro.
We have beat them this year. We got them for our first win last year when we were winless in New Zealand for their first Anzac Day there in over 10 years. And we set our record of our highest ever points against them, 66-6 later that season. So we absolutely they were cursed against us. They've broken that curse. They were just dominant in so many areas. Like, you can look at that scorecard and go, no, we put 18 on. Like, we kept it somewhat close, but it just wasn't the case.
We scored 2 of them in the last 5 minutes.
And did you feel as well watching the Warriors just didn't care anymore?
Yeah, they didn't care. And I was like, we turned it on for the last 5 minutes. Like, game's over. Who cares?
Yeah. That's what we would say. Hey, it's easy to score when there's nothing to play for anymore.
Yeah.
But we always do that. Yeah, it's disappointing.
But like,
I'll tell you what really upset me in this game. Attention to detail. It was so poor. Like, nothing against JC in particular, but this moment just baffled me. He ran to the 20-meter line and he forgot to tap the ball. He just kind of got there, stopped, and kept running. I'm not sure if that's a fatigue thing, a focus thing. I've never seen that before in the NRL. Have you?
Nah. So that's
crazy, isn't it?
It's just like we've just done. Like, I just feel like the Titans, they just do like stupid things. Like the week before, JC again, one of our best players, but didn't put the ball down. Like we're running over and like it was a try for all. Like, what are you doing? Just put the ball down.
For a try. We're in 16th right now if he scores that.
So
another moment that really frustrated me in this game, they had a goal line dropout. we had a goal line dropout and we batted it back and no worry, got to it. We dove on it out in goal. So we got a second goal line dropout in a row. We contested again and then we lose again. Oh my gosh, we've just had 2 cracks at this and we've messed both up. Early errors into our sets really hurt. Our execution on the high ball was off. And we just really are entirely a step behind the competition at the moment.
We are 15 errors to their 7.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Like we're just giving them the ball constantly.
Yeah. And it's not like we were playing an attacking brand of footy where you're like, no, just keep your head up, boys. Errors will come. We're playing well here. They were just unnecessary errors. So I'm not sure what else we can break down for you guys from this game. Like, it wasn't good enough. It hasn't been good enough for most of this season. And we could drag this out and get into all the negativity and all the negative things that happened. But, our viewers are smart enough to recognize them already. And I think we save us all some time and avoid going down that negative route. But
Should
with that, we'll actually
changes.
Team changes?
No, interchanges. We only use 6 again, and we put Kinney on the last 20 minutes. I know we said it all year, and we're not going to go into it, but like, why? They used all their 8. Like, what do? We don't save another 2 for next week.
Yeah, it's just
why
baffling.
have 8 but use 6?
It's genuinely baffling. I'm not sure what Desi was thinking there on the coaching staff. As we always say, guys, we're not sitting here in this podcast pretending that we know more about footy than any of our coaches. We don't. It's only an opinion. But I would at least love to understand the reasoning. And that's what post-game press conferences are for. And that's what the journalists should have asked Des. Des, why did you not think to bring Keanu on earlier? Why did you not get 3 full interchanges? What were you thinking there? Not insulting us and saying it's embarrassing the crowd's all Warriors fans and stuff like that. So I'd love to know the answer. Yeah. If you guys could do your job, we're all baffled and we'd love to know. Look, let's park the 3-2-1 segment this week and for the rest of the year. It's probably not the right season to be celebrating our performances or handing out awards. And I think most of our viewers would agree with that, mate. So let's move straight into our affiliates recap time. Our Ipswich Jets go down to the Sunshine Coast Falcons 30-12. Carter Gordon, though, he scored there and he did kick 2 from 2 on goals. It was also his first game in the 7 jersey. Time for a debut. I'm saying yes. What about yourself?
Yeah, why not, man? Like,
what do we got to lose?
100%. Yeah, what do you got to lose? Like, chuck him in. Like, even if like you put him in 7 and like play 6 or 7, play 4.5 a game, play him half a game. I don't care at this point. Yep. Give him a run.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know. Same thing for Keanu Kinney as well. Like, if he's not going to get minutes off the bench, like, he might as well be playing reserve grade. At least then Kinney can get his match fitness and confidence back. We just need to use him. Like,
I reckon Kinney's got to play on the bench, on the wing, man.
Yeah, I like that. He could be like, someone actually suggested that to me, and I thought about it at first, like, no, but he makes big meters. He has powerful carries. Like, he could be a mini Brian Toto in a way there. So, put Kinney on the wing. I want to see that for sure as well. Tweed, they also went down 32 points to 39 to the Northern Pride. So, only our NRLW side getting a win this week. Tony Francis got a try. Zane Harrison was at 5'8" alongside Tom Weaver. Both our halves scored in that as well. And Cooper Bye started at lock for the first time at the Q Cup level. So fingers crossed that's a sign of him kind of progressing from the bench.
What was his? Do you have his stats there or no? No stats.
I didn't have his stats this week, but that's because the Queensland Cup website, they sometimes don't update them.
I'm just wondering, like, his minutes. Like, obviously they want him to be a big minute lock forward. It's just like his start. Like, what did he play? 60 minutes? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I'll just check now if they've updated the stats. At the time of me doing my notes, no, they still haven't updated it, unfortunately. Queensland Cup don't typically do live stats. They have a company go back and watch the game and do all the stats. So at the time of us recording, it's Monday around 5 p.m. They haven't updated his stats, but it was nice to see him start. In line with that, guys, we don't have the specific stats, but the Jets are in 7th, Tweed a 2nd last. So season alive for the Ipswich Jets there. They've got the 10th place South Logan Magpies and our Tweed Heads. They've got the Townsville Blackhawks. So the Jets here, we want them to win and they will remain in the top 8. It's the final round of Queensland Cup. So if the Jets lose and the Brisbane Tigers manage to beat the 4th place winner Manly Seagulls, our Jets will miss the finals. If we win, we could go as high as 6th. So, yeah, that would give us
a chance.
We're a chance.
There. We're a chance, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be cool just to see a couple of Titans young players and up-and-comers still playing footy at the business end of the season. Who knows? They could go all the way and we could see them on grand final day as well.
A lot of our guys have played for Ipswich this year, so a couple of them will be out. So a couple of NRL blokes might go and play.
Yeah,
in the
that
final,
would be ideal. If they're not playing NRL, hopefully they're still playing Q Cup and developing our reserve grade players and our younger guys that are coming through the grades there. That's what we need. Alrighty, game preview times now, guys. Let's move into the NRLW. We've got the Eels this Sunday at Seabus. That's at 6:15 p.m. And without a doubt, guys, this is another very winnable game for us. Mm-hmm. They have been absolutely pumped in 2 of their last 3 games, okay? They lost 56 points to 12 to the Roosters. They then, prior to that, they lost 38 points to 4 to the Broncos. And before that, they lost 14 points to 10 to the Cowboys. Now, a real theme of their season has been low-scoring games. They've only had 1 high-scoring game. That was against the Raiders, where they scored like 50 or something crazy. But outside of that game, they only really get around that 12-point mark in a lot of their performances. So I think defensively, Russ, if we can keep them to that score, I believe based on what I saw last round, we do have more than 12 points in us. I would back us to score over that. Would you?
Yeah, 100%. I think it's a very winnable game, and it's another must win. Like they're in 8, they're borderline near finals. We're 6, because it's only top 6 to get through. So it's another must win game.
Yeah, it's as simple as that. Because when you look at that NRLW ladder and how bunched it is, kind of like 5th to 8th at the moment is pretty packed, right? So there'll be sides that finish 7th, 8th, 9th that might even be equal points to the top 6.
Exactly, yeah.
They're just going to miss out. We obviously want to be on the upside of that. And if you drop games like this in a 10-round season, you will miss the finals. Mm-hmm. An NRL season goes for 27 rounds. You can kind of afford to drop a game here and there and play off. NRLW, our players don't have the luxury there. We've got to win these games. It's another must win, another very winnable contest. And I think we'll get it done. Yeah, I'm feeling confident.
At home as well.
Yeah, I'm confident we'll get the job done there. Not sure how much of a crowd we can expect. It is weird scheduling by the NRL because our NRL team play at 4 p.m. at Suncorp. So you physically couldn't make both NRL and NRLW if you wanted to. So a little bit of strange scheduling there. Fingers crossed we still get some people down that don't want to go to Brisbane. Yeah, to support our girls. But I've got us 1-12 in this one. I reckon we'll win in that 1-12 range.
Yeah.
What's your final prediction?
Yeah, I'm the same. I reckon we'll win by about 8 points.
Yeah, that's what I think as well. Like we're clearly the better side. Just got to get our fundamentals right, up that completion rate a little bit from last round. And the biggest key of all for me, keep them around that 10 to 12 point that they average for majority of the season, bar 1 game. We keep them to that. I'm confident we can win this game. All right, let's go game preview time for the NRL, mate. We've got the Dolphins at Suncorp Stadium. It's 4 p.m, final game of the round. And this is our final away game for 2025, even though we don't have to travel too far. We take on another side here, in my opinion, that kind of knows their season's over, mathematically, statistically, whatever you want to say. The Dolphins, they can still play finals, but they probably are only playing for pride, all things considered.
Yeah.
For me, this just comes down to the Dolphins' attitude, Russ, because on paper and form, they're probably double the side we are so far this year. But I actually thought last run against Manly, their players didn't rock up with the right attitude. It was like they didn't care as much as Manly did.
They got absolutely belted, man.
Yeah, do you feel like if we rock up with a positive attitude here, we want to play for Des, do you reckon we can, stir a bit of an ambush up potentially?
See, I reckon just because now all the hype in the club and the last 24 hours and stuff, and Des has had 2 more games. It might be his last 2 games ever coaching again.
Yeah.
The players might go, you know what, let's turn it up, to be honest. And like they might be just drumming in going, we win these 2 games, we avoid a spoon. Des has never had a spoon before. It's up to you boys.
Yep.
I reckon that's all that's what they're going to be drumming into them all week. And I think like clearly the Dolphins are their heavy favorites. But I don't know. There could be an upset, but I don't know. I hope there is, man.
Yeah, it's really tough, right? I will say for Titans, this is the sort of games we win, guys, where no one expects us to. I have more confidence in the Titans winning here than I would if we were against the West Tigers a few years ago when they were running last. We just seem to get up for games where statistically and mathematically we shouldn't be in it. What I really liked about how Manly beat the Dolphins last round was their early shifts and facilitating their outside backs, which really should be a strength of ours with a running half in Jaden Campbell and really fast outside backs with strike. I would really like to see us replicate that blueprint, that Manly set, chance our arm, play some expansive footy, because you know what? We're coming up with 15 errors last round whilst we're trying to play safe and conservative. When we throw the footy around, like we did against Penrith in the second half, at home particularly, in afternoon conditions where it's a bit drier, there's not as much dew on the surface, we're a dangerous side.
We are.
We've only beaten the Dolphins once before. So this game should mean more to us, right? They're a new side, and they've already beaten us 3 times. We've only beaten them once. Realistically, if you're going to go off stats and form, it shouldn't be competitive here. No. All stats figures, you can't really bring up one that leads to the Titans winning. But I would really love if we can just get up, tell the boys it's our last away game. As you said, let's do this for Des Hasler. Let's go out. Let's beat our rivals that are our second closest neighbor in the NRL, and let's finish with some form.
Just finish
if not,
year, man.
If nothing else, man, like let's have a little bit of ego about what we do, right? And what I mean by that is fire up for Des in the sense that we are literally a laughing stock of the league right now online, and journalists at press conference feel comfortable enough to insult our coach, insult our crowds, insult our club. He told us it's embarrassing that we can't get a home crowd. Come on, Titans players, have some pride here, boys. Whether that pride's ego-induced or you simply want to prove something to yourself and you don't care about the external news, have some bloody pride in that jumper. The way that journalist spoke about us is exactly how we are all spoken about online in rival fan base groups and stuff like that. We've got to have some pride here. In line with that, Russ, I'm actually going to back us to have a crack here based on everything I said. I'm going to tip us 1-12. I'm going to tip us to upset the Dolphins. Am I crazy? Are you with me? What's your gut feel say?
Mate, I bet Titans 13 plus every week, mate. What do you mean?
So I don't got to ask you. 13
plus. 13 plus.
Mate, if we win by 13 plus, geez, that'd be very, very special. Man, I just love if we can get a win at Suncorp Stadium, upset the Dolphins, back it up with members round at Seabus Super Stadium, finish our season with 2 wins, avoid that wooden spoon, and with that, it's enough to look forward to next season with Josh Hannay coming in, and it's a time to celebrate Des Hasler's attempt at the club, and then look forward to the future. We've got an opportunity to do that here, and I really hope our boys take it. So we're both with the Titans at NRLW and NRL level. Also, best of luck to our Ipswich Jets. Fingers crossed they can get the job and make it to the finals this year. And with that, guys, we will see you all next week to break everything down, preview the final round for our NRL side, and break down everything Titans that happens in that week. So thank you very much, guys, and we will see you then. Cheers, Russ. Go the Titans. Go the Titans.